Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims Info and Thoughts video. Once again, about the upcoming Werewolves game pack. So we did have that live stream from the developers the other day. They went through a lot of stuff, and I did a whole recap video on it. But after the live stream, the Sim Gurus did answer some more questions. There's quite a few tweets, but I figured I would just choose some that give more clarification to things and would be more useful information like going into the pack, because actually the embargo for EA Network creators getting early access to the pack is on the 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we won't have to wait that much longer before another huge flood of info releases. So soon enough, we'll know basically everything there is to know about this pack. But without further ado, let's get right into this Sim Guru Q&A. First thing we're going to start off with is a little feature I don't think was even mentioned in the live stream, and that is Werewolf Bloodlines. So Syndicate asked, do the standard occult rules apply with genetics, anything like bloodlines? And Simguru Nova says, I believe so, but Simguru Connor can explain it better. And Connor replied, with pretty standard rules, with 2 werewolves you can get a regular werewolf, greater blood werewolf, or a dormant werewolf basically skips a generation. Going into a little bit more detail, Connor also said werewolf things are more natural for greater wolf blood werewolves and have increased XP gains. So it does sound like it is going to be pretty similar to the ancient bloodline thing regarding genetics and spellcasters. So that is good that they have implemented that for werewolves, because I thought that was a pretty cool aspect of Realm of Magic. Next we have a whole thread from Simguru Morgan clarifying what temperaments are all about, which is good because I was still a bit confused as to how they work when I was doing my livestream recap video. So Morgan says, werewolves gain new temperaments as they level up and grow in power. They have an increased chance to get certain ones based on their sim traits. Example, romantic gives a greater chance of getting the frisky temperament. You can re-roll with the lunar howl ability if you aren't feeling the ones you have. Fury is normally always increasing slightly, but based on your werewolf's temperaments, it might increase more in certain temperaments. For example, Frisky increases fury when they feel flirty, so if you're romantic, watch out. Okay, so I was right about that, that's good. One of my favorite ones is Guilt-Racked, name might be slightly off. A werewolf will regularly feel guilty for what they are. When I play, temperaments make each of my werewolves feel a little different from each other, so it increases replayability and adds story drivers. When Shroom God asked if there's a way to keep the fury under control or to decrease it, and if meditating with Spade could help, Morgan replies saying there are a handful of abilities that can help you, but even the wisest, most controlled werewolf will transform at times. Managing fury or embracing it is a pretty big theme in the pack, I'd say. The Wild Fangs and Moonwood Collective get really into it philosophically. Also, after I tweeted a few examples of temperaments, Simgru Morgan replied to me saying, there are 22 temperaments in total! Oh my god! I did not expect nearly that many, maybe like half. 18 of them will appear naturally, and there are 4 unique ones that you can get when you use the Lunar Howl ability to re-roll your temperaments. That's interesting that there are some hidden behind that. It's like a gacha mechanic, except without ripping tons of money from your wallet. So, yeah, rather interesting way of going about that. But this temperament system sounds really awesome, and how it ties into Fury and that it is always increasing gradually, because I assume that Fury was working very similarly to how you can overcharge your spellcasters, where that's extremely easy to avoid, and it doesn't take much to unlock an ability to just completely reset your overcharge. But this time, no, this Fury is a lot more of a danger, especially if you end up doing things that end up building the Fury and how the temperaments can basically betray you. Like, yeah, the whole example with being like a frisky werewolf with a romantic trait, and then you get more romantic, but then your fury goes up too because of that, and it's like, uh-oh. Yeah, then things could get pretty rough in the bedroom, I guess. In all seriousness, though, I think temperaments and fury are going to play a big part in making werewolves interesting, maybe even potentially the most interesting occult we have in The Sims 4. Next is the topic of hunting as a werewolf. So Navy Ruby asked, can werewolves hunt for animals like rabbits, chickens, or farm animals if you have cottage living? Simguru Morgan replies with, werewolves can go out hunting if you have the ability to do so. They bring back meat, but we don't really know where it comes from. Probably the supermarket. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. And Simguru Connor adds onto this by saying, I'm seeing this mentioned a bit, but vegetarian werewolves will come back with mushrooms instead. There is also a new mushroom steak recipe. Okay. Interesting. I never even considered the idea of a vegetarian werewolf because I always associate werewolves so much with just being so hungry for meat. And I also wonder, because they didn't answer this in the live stream, if all the recipes are available in the dine-out restaurants, or if you can make them at home, or if they are strictly bar food, like how some of the ones in Get Together are. What I'm not completely sure about, though, is if the hunting is a rabbit hole interaction where the werewolf would just disappear off your lot for a bit, like as if they were going to work, and then they come back a few hours later with stuff in their inventory, or if you actually do see the werewolves running around and then the stuff appears in their inventory like it does in The Sims 3. I'm hoping for the latter because, yeah, rabbit holes are not really my thing most of the time, so I hope that it doesn't have to be a rabbit hole thing necessarily. But no, from the sounds of it, you're not able to just hunt the cottage living animals. I guess it would have been a little too brutal for the happy-go-lucky atmosphere of The Sims 4, but then again, in cottage living it is possible for wild foxes to kill your rabbits and chickens, so it wouldn't have been completely out of place if it was like a dust cloud or something. It's not like a huge exclusion to me that I'm going to miss terribly, but maybe even a modder could figure that out if that is something that you all really want to see. Morgan also spoke about fated mates. So they're a thing in this pack. 2 werewolves can become fated mates. You'll discover your fated mate when you flirt with another werewolf. From there, it is up to you if you want to embrace that connection or deny it. A werewolf will only ever have one fated mate. And Francois says, first step to an attraction system in The Sims 4? And Morgan answered with, this is something entirely different. Yeah, to me this sounds like it is a really like randomized thing that is just completely random. It's not using factors like, oh, does this sim have blonde hair? Or is this sim at level 7+ in their career? Or are they muscular or whatever? No, it's just like, oh, they may or may not be your fated mates as a werewolf, and that's basically it. Another tweet from Morgan talks about all the books we're getting in the near future. Pop-up textbooks, 4 Peter Barker books. Yeah, like I said in the previous video, I like how that's kind of like a reference to Spider-Man. 4 books by Wolfgang Mulder, plus Lunar Secrets. 4 Secrets books, plus Lunar Secrets. And then other, Beyond Big and Bad, Rethinking Harmful Werewolf Stereotypes. And then regular books, 3 new werewolf-themed base game books. So even in the free update, we're supposed to be getting some new books as well. But yeah, interesting that some of them will have some secrets that only werewolves can decipher in those parts of those books from Wolfgang Mulder and the secret books too. There's also a couple new pictures from the Simguru. So Simguru Nova did tweet all of the swatches for the telescope that we're getting with the Werewolves game pack, and I think they all look pretty nice. I do love the galaxy themed one all the way to the left, and there are some pretty nice kind of like more basic colors towards the right hand side, so I think we got some good variety here. But we are getting a telescope for free with the upcoming base game update, which I don't think we've seen what that one looks like yet. Maybe it looks like the one from The Sims 2, I'm not really sure. But looking forward to seeing that. And SimGuru Ninja did tweet out a picture showing all the lot sizes as labeled on the map. So it is disappointing in my opinion that once again we are getting only 5 lots. From what we've seen so far, it looks like there is a decent amount to do in the public space outside your lots, which helps. And I think it will be a better world than Forgotten Hollow or Glimmerbrook, not counting the Magic Realm. But it still bothers me how quickly I can fill up these worlds when they're this tiny. Like, just looking at Moonwood Mill here, we have just 2 empty lots. One that does have a house already built, the 20 by 15, and the 30 by 30. So if I do a Let's Play, I'll probably make a new household moving into the 20 by 15 lot, and then there's just the 30 by 30 lot, which I don't know if I'll use that for another house or for a venue, and then boom, that's it, I'm already begging for the next world. And I do like keeping all my Sims in the same save, and I feel bad about moving the pre-made Sims out of their existing homes, especially when they tie so much into the lore. I'm not saying the lore is a bad thing. I'm glad that we're getting better lore in the more recent worlds, but it'll never not be annoying to me getting worlds this small, even though this is to be expected since it is on par with Forgotten Hollow and pretty much Glimmerbrook if you don't count the Magic Realm's hidden lot. Overall though, I'm still pretty excited to play this pack, and I look forward to doing my early access coverage of this. Maybe it will finally be that return to form for game packs, as long as this doesn't end up being super buggy. And that wraps up another Sims Info and Thoughts video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on werewolves, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!